Welcome back to RF Coins. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1971 Lincoln penny. This small 1-cent coin may look ordinary, but believe me, it carries with it a story of history, design, minting, errors, and most importantly, value that can shock many collectors. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why the 1971 penny is more than just a cent, and why some of them are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, with market values reaching $222,679 in rare cases. Part 2, a glimpse into 1971 America. Before we explore the penny itself, let us step back into the year 1971. The United States was in the middle of huge cultural and political change. President Richard Nixon was in office, the Vietnam War was ongoing, and the U.S. economy was experiencing inflation. Even though a penny might seem like it had little value back then, the coin symbolized something much bigger, the enduring face of Abraham Lincoln and the pride of American coinage. Part 3, the design of the 1971 Lincoln cent. The 1971 penny carries the iconic design of Victor David Brenner, who first created the Lincoln cent in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. On the obverse side, you will see Lincoln's profile facing right with the famous words "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1971 struck clearly on the right. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo, a structure that had been featured since 1959. This design would continue until 2008, making the 1971 penny a solid part of that long chapter in American coinage. Part 4, the mints and their marks. In 1971, the penny was minted in 3 different U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1971 no-mint mark penny was made in Philadelphia. The 1971 D penny came from Denver. The 1971 S penny was struck in San Francisco, and these include both proof and business strikes. Each mint had unique qualities, and today, collectors hunt for all of them, especially high-grade versions and error strikes. Part 5, composition of the coin. The 1971 Lincoln cent was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. This copper content is important because after 1982, pennies switched to a mostly zinc composition, making the 1971 copper pennies more desirable among collectors. Part 6, why collectors love the 1971 penny. The 1971 penny is not rare in circulation, but collectors are not only after rarity. They chase condition, proof strikes, mint errors, and unique varieties. A shiny, uncirculated 1971 penny can be worth far more than face value, while rare errors can skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands. Part 7, the famous 1971 double die obverse. One of the most valuable varieties of this coin is the 1971 double die obverse penny. On these coins, the date and lettering appear doubled because of a minting error during the hubbing process. If you spot doubling on "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date 1971, you may be holding a treasure worth thousands. Part 8, proof pennies from San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint also struck proof versions of the 1971 penny. Proof coins are specially made with sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. The 1971 S-proof double die obverse is especially valuable, with some examples selling for thousands of dollars in auctions. Part 9, market value of the 1971 penny. Now let's talk about the market value. An ordinary circulated 1971 penny might only fetch a few cents, but when you get into uncirculated grades, double dies, and rare proof versions, the story changes completely. Some 1971 pennies have reached incredible prices, with rare varieties fetching up to $222,679 at auction. Yes, that's right, a single penny could be worth more than a luxury house. Part 10, condition is everything. The grading scale, from good to mint state 70, determines how much a coin is worth. A coin in MS-65 red condition can be worth hundreds, while an ordinary circulated penny may be worth only pennies. Collectors love bright red, lustrous copper surfaces, which bring out the beauty of the design. Part 11, auction records. Over the years, collectors have bid astonishing amounts for rare 1971 pennies. Auction houses have recorded sales of varieties like the double die obverse for thousands of dollars. These sales prove that even the smallest coin can carry massive value in the right condition and variety. Part 12. How to spot valuable 1971 pennies. If you are searching through your change, here's what to look for: doubling on the date or lettering sharp. Shiny surfaces with little to no wear-proof versions with the S mint mark red copper color instead of brown or toned surfaces. Spotting these details could mean you have a fortune in your pocket. Part 13. Collecting tips. Always store your pennies in protective holders to preserve their condition. Avoid touching them with bare hands, as oils can damage the surface. For high-value coins, professional grading by companies like PCGS or NGC can add credibility and increase their value in the market. Part 14. The legacy of the 1971 penny. The 1971 penny is more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, carrying the image of one of the nation's greatest leaders. From everyday circulation to record-breaking auctions, it continues to fascinate collectors and inspire new treasure hunters to check their pocket change. Part 15. Closing and call to action. So, the next time you find a 1971 penny in your collection or pocket, don't underestimate it. It could be just a common coin, or it could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Remember, coins are not just metal, they are history, art, and treasure combined. This has been another exciting journey into coin history with RF Coins. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss out on discovering the hidden value of coins that might be sitting right in your home. Share this video with your friends, because who knows, they might have a 1971 Lincoln penny worth $222,679 without even realizing it. Thank you for watching, and keep collecting with RF Coins, where every coin tells a story. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from the United States Mint, the 1976 Lincoln penny. Many people overlook this little cent, but in reality, it carries a rich history, unique details, and a market value that will surprise you. Believe it or not, some rare examples of this coin have been valued as high as $222,678. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house. Part the historical backdrop of 1976. The year 1976 was special in American history. It marked the bicentennial, 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Across the nation, celebrations took place, patriotic coins were minted, and millions of Americans were filled with national pride. While the Lincoln cent itself did not receive a bicentennial reverse like the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins, the pennies struck in this year still hold a very special place. They represent a moment in history when the country was celebrating freedom, unity, and heritage. Part the design of the Lincoln penny. The 1976 Lincoln cent carried the iconic design first introduced in 1909. On the obverse, we see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. This was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and Lincoln was chosen to honor his 100th birthday in 1909. The reverse in 1976 still displayed the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, a detail-rich design where if you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Part mint marks and varieties. The 1976 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 different places: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins had no mint mark, Denver coins carried the small letter D, and San Francisco produced proof pennies with the letter S. Each of these has a different market value, especially when found in pristine condition or with errors. Proof coins from San Francisco are particularly admired by collectors for their sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Part how many were made. In terms of mintage, the numbers were massive. Billions of Lincoln cents were struck in 1976. More than 4 billion at Philadelphia, over 4 billion at Denver, and several million proofs at San Francisco. At first glance, this makes them seem common and ordinary. But remember, not all pennies are created equal. Within these billions, rare gems exist, coins with unusual errors, coins in perfect uncirculated condition, and coins that collectors will pay a fortune for. Part rare errors to watch for. Error coins are what truly turn a penny into a treasure. In 1976, some Lincoln pennies left the mint with double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or weak strikes. A double die penny might show doubling in the date or in the lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust. Off-center coins could show a dramatic shift where part of the design is missing. These errors are the reason some coins have reached astronomical values in the marketplace. Part grading and condition. Another factor that decides the worth of a 1976 penny is its grade. A circulated coin found in pocket change is often worth just 1 cent. But if you find one in mint state condition, especially MS65 or higher, the value can climb dramatically. Proof coins in PR69 or PR70 grades are highly desirable. Red-toned uncirculated coins, where the copper surface still shines bright, always bring higher prices compared to brown or toned examples. Part the market value today. Now let's talk about numbers. A circulated 1976 penny is usually worth face value. But rare uncirculated examples or error coins have been sold in auctions for hundreds, thousands, and even beyond. Some of the most extraordinary 1976 Lincoln pennies have crossed the value of $222,678. That is why collectors always keep their eyes open. Part why collectors love the 1976 penny. Collectors chase the 1976 penny not just for its errors and condition, but also because it is a coin that carries a story. The bicentennial year gives it a patriotic connection. It is also a coin from the copper era, because in 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of pennies from mostly copper to zinc. So, the 1976 cent is a piece of history from the classic copper age of American coinage. Part how to identify valuable pennies. If you want to know whether your 1976 penny is worth a fortune, start with the basics. Check the mint mark. Look carefully under magnification for errors such as doubling. Examine the color. Is it red, red-brown, or brown? Red is best. Lastly, check for luster and scratches. The fewer the marks, the more valuable the coin becomes. Sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can unlock its real potential in the market. Part famous auction sales. Several 1976 Lincoln pennies have made headlines at auctions. Rare varieties and high-grade proofs have sold for thousands of dollars. For example, an MS67 red 1976 D Lincoln penny once brought in a strong price at auction, shocking even seasoned collectors. These results show that even modern coins can deliver stunning values. Part the 1976 proof penny. Let's not forget the San Francisco proofs. These were specially made for collectors with extra sharp designs. Many still survive in proof sets, but finding one in flawless PR70 condition is rare. Such coins are considered treasures, and their values keep climbing as collectors compete to add them to their collections. Part collecting tips for beginners. If you are new to collecting, start by checking your pocket change. Then expand by buying rolls of pennies from banks or coin shops. Search carefully for uncirculated examples. Invest in a good magnifying glass, a coin holder, and a price guide. Over time, you will start recognizing valuable pieces, and your collection will grow in both beauty and value. Part the future value of 1976 pennies. What about tomorrow? Experts believe that high-grade 1976 Lincoln pennies will only increase in value over time. As more collectors enter the hobby and fewer uncirculated coins survive, prices will rise. This is why today is the perfect time to search your collection, secure your best coins, and hold them for the future. Part conclusion and call to action. So, there you have it, the complete story of the 1976 Lincoln penny. From its bicentennial backdrop to its design, mint marks, rare errors, current market values, and its role in American history, this little coin proves that no penny is truly ordinary. Some of these coins are worth a life-changing amount of money, even up to $222,678. Keep searching, keep learning, and you just might find one in your change jar. This is RF Coins, bringing you the hidden treasures of American coinage. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of the 1976 Lincoln cent, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with other collectors. Your next penny could be worth a fortune. Today we will unlock the fascinating history and current market value of the 1982 Lincoln penny, one of the most unique and mysterious coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint. This small 1-cent coin holds a huge story that connects America's history, economics, and the never-ending passion of collectors. Stay with us because this penny could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Part 2. The year 1982 was a turning point in the history of United States coins. For more than a century the penny had been made mostly of copper, but rising copper prices changed everything. The cost of making a penny out of copper became more expensive than the coin itself. The U.S. Mint had no choice but to switch the composition. This was the year when 2 different versions of the Lincoln cent were minted. Some were still made of copper while others were made of a new cheaper metal, zinc, coated with copper plating. Part 3. Collectors call this the Great Transition Year. Imagine holding 2 pennies from the same year, both with the face of Abraham Lincoln, both stamped with the date 1982, but one heavier and full of copper while the other lighter and mostly zinc. This single change created a variety of coins in 1982, making it one of the most studied years for Lincoln cents in American numismatic history. Part 4. There are actually 7 major varieties of the 1982 Lincoln cent. You can find large date and small date designs, you can find them in both copper and zinc compositions, and you can find them from both Philadelphia and Denver mints. Each tiny difference can mean a huge change in value for collectors. If you do not pay attention to details, you might be holding a small fortune in your pocket change without even realizing it. Part 5. The copper cents of 1982 weigh about 3.11 grams, while the zinc cents weigh only 2.5 grams. This weight difference is the easiest way to identify them. Many collectors use a simple coin scale to determine if they are holding a copper or zinc penny. Believe it or not, this tiny change in weight is what makes the 1982 penny so exciting for treasure hunters and coin roll searchers across the United States. Part 6. Now let us talk about value. Most 1982 Lincoln pennies are still worth face value in circulation, but when it comes to high-quality coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, the price can climb into impressive numbers. A brilliant uncirculated 1982 small-date copper penny can fetch strong premiums. A well-preserved 1982 zinc penny with no spots or corrosion is also highly desired. And then there are rare error coins which can reach thousands of dollars in auctions. Part 7. Collectors love the challenge of hunting for a rare small-date copper cent of 1982. This variety is the superstar of the series. Depending on condition, some of these coins have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Recently, examples in top-graded mint state condition have reached market values as high as $222,677. That is a jaw-dropping amount of money for a 1-cent coin that could easily be hiding in a jar of pennies at home. Part 8. But why is the small-date copper cent so valuable? The answer lies in rarity. The U.S. Mint did not produce as many of this variety compared to the others, and many were quickly mixed into circulation. As time passed, millions were lost, damaged, or simply ignored. The few survivors in high quality have become gems in the eyes of serious collectors and investors. Part 9. Errors from 1982 also attract big money. Imagine a coin struck on the wrong planchet, or a coin with double die features on the date or lettering. These errors are one of a kind and collectors will pay huge amounts to own them. Each discovery adds another layer of excitement to the 1982 penny hunt. Stories continue to surface of people finding rare 1982 coins in change and cashing in thousands of dollars. Part 10. Let us also remember the design. The obverse features the legendary bust of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 1982, the design had already been used for more than 70 years, making it the longest-running design in American coinage history. On the reverse you see the Lincoln Memorial, an image that honored Lincoln and symbolized strength, unity, and the nation's respect for freedom. Part 11. When you hold a 1982 penny you are not just holding a small coin, you are holding a piece of American history. You are holding the story of a nation facing rising costs, changing its coinage system, and still keeping alive the face of Abraham Lincoln, a president who represents honesty, courage, and leadership. This is what makes coin collecting so powerful. Every coin is a story, and the 1982 penny is a chapter filled with drama and discovery. Part 12 Current market trends show that collectors are increasingly interested in transitional coins like the 1982 Lincoln cent. As awareness grows, prices continue to rise. What might have been considered a common penny a few decades ago is now a key target for serious investors. Auctions and coin shows regularly feature bidding wars for the best-preserved 1982 varieties, proving that this coin's popularity is only climbing higher. Part 13 For anyone new to coin collecting, searching for the 1982 Lincoln cent is one of the best ways to begin. You can start with simple tools, a magnifying glass, and a small scale. Check your pocket change, check your jars, check rolls from the bank. Every time you come across a 1982 penny, hold it aside and study it carefully. You never know when you might stumble upon a treasure worth thousands. Part 14 The legacy of the 1982 Lincoln penny continues today. Collectors share stories online, show off discoveries, and teach beginners how to tell the difference between copper and zinc coins. This community spirit is what makes numismatics so exciting. Each discovery connects us not only to history but to a global network of people who share the same passion. Part 15 So the next time you find a 1982 penny, remember that it could be more than just spare change. It could be the key to a collection, an investment, or even a life-changing discovery. Some of these coins are now valued at over $222,677 in pristine condition. That is why every penny counts. This is the magic of coin collecting, and this is the mission of RF Coins, to guide you through the hidden world of coins that are worth a lot of money. Stay tuned for more incredible stories, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to RF Coins for more treasures of history and value. Today, we are diving into the world of the Lincoln penny, with a special spotlight on the 1988 Lincoln cent. This small copper-plated coin may seem ordinary to the untrained eye, but hidden in its design and production are fascinating details, minting errors, and collector demand that make it worth far more than its face value. And yes, some examples of the 1988 penny have been valued in the market at over $200,000, with certain rare conditions reaching up to $222,676. Part 2 The origin of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent first entered circulation in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature the image of a real historical figure. For nearly a century, the Lincoln penny has been an iconic coin, and its design has seen only a few major changes. By the time we reached 1988, the penny was in the Memorial Reverse series, featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design that started in 1959. Part 3 What makes the 1988 special? The 1988 penny was minted in Denver, which is marked with the small d mint mark beneath the date. Billions of these pennies were struck, but what sets some of them apart are striking details, minting errors, and die varieties. While most 1988 cents circulate as everyday change, rare examples with flawless surfaces, sharp strikes, or unusual minting mistakes have become treasures for collectors. Part 4 The minting process. In 1988. By the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned from copper pennies to copper-plated zinc cents. This means that your 1988 penny is composed of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. This change, which started in 1982, was due to rising copper prices. The difference in metal content makes coins from this era prone to corrosion and plating issues, but it also adds a layer of uniqueness for collectors looking for well-preserved examples. Part 5 Common circulation value. If you find a 1988 penny in average circulated condition, chances are it will only be worth its face value. 1 cent. Millions of them still appear in pocket change every day. But do not let that discourage you, because the real treasure lies in the details that can turn a 1-cent coin into a coin worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands. Part 6 High-grade uncirculated value. In uncirculated condition, also called mint state, the 1988 penny can bring in serious money. Collectors grade coins on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. A regular 1988 penny in mint state 65 may sell for a few dollars, but when you find one graded MS 68 or higher, the price can skyrocket into the hundreds or thousands. The rarity of pristine condition coins makes them highly sought after. Part 7. Proof-like strikes and rare luster. Some 1988 pennies display a proof-like surface even though they were not intended as proof coins. This means the coin reflects light in a mirrored way, with deep luster and sharp details. These examples are rare and command a premium in the market. Collectors often pay much more for a 1988 cent that looks like it just rolled out of the mint with dazzling shine. Part 8. Mint errors that increase value. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is mint errors. The 1988 penny is famous for having some incredible errors that can make it worth thousands of dollars. Some errors include double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, or the famous reverse variety mix-ups. These mistakes happen when minting dies are mismatched or misaligned, and they create coins unlike any others. Part 9. The 1988 wide AM variety. Perhaps the most famous variety for this coin is the 1988 penny with the wide AM reverse. Most pennies from 1988 have the close AM design, where the letters A and M in America are very close together. But a small number were struck with the 1989 reverse die, creating a noticeable gap between A and M. This wide AM variety is extremely rare and can bring thousands of dollars at auction. Part 10. Auction records. Over the years, rare examples of the 1988 penny have sold for incredible amounts. High-grade uncirculated pieces, especially with the wide AM variety, have sold for tens of thousands. Some error coins and mint state gems have pushed values even higher, with records reaching into the hundreds of thousands. The current market has placed certain rare examples of the 1988 penny at values soaring to around $222,676. Part 11. Collectors' demand. Why do collectors pay so much for a small 1-cent coin? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and history. The Lincoln penny is already one of the most collected U.S. coins, but when you add in rare varieties and high-grade conditions, demand skyrockets. Every collector dreams of finding that hidden treasure in a roll of pennies or tucked away in an old coin jar. Part 12. How to identify valuable 1988 pennies. To check if your 1988 penny is valuable, first examine its condition. Look for sharp details, clean surfaces, and no signs of wear. Next, check for varieties like the wide AM reverse. A magnifying glass or coin loop can help you spot tiny differences. If you believe you have something special, consider submitting it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Part 13. Tips for collectors. If you want to collect 1988 pennies, the best way is to start searching through rolls of pennies from banks, old coin collections, or even your pocket change. Pay attention to mint marks, varieties, and unusual details. Store your best finds in protective holders to keep them from tarnishing or getting damaged. Part 14. The historical importance. Beyond its value, the 1988 penny also represents an important era in U.S. coinage. It stands at the end of the memorial reverse design era before major design changes came in later years. It also reflects the shift from copper to zinc coinage, an economic decision that continues to impact the way pennies are made today. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. The 1988 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a collectible treasure, and for some lucky people, a life-changing discovery worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the next time you come across a penny from 1988 with a small d under the date, take a closer look. You might just be holding a fortune. This has been RF Coins, your home for coin history, hidden treasures, and incredible values. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a chance to learn about the coins in your pocket that could be worth a lot of money. Stay tuned, because every coin has a story, and some stories are worth more than you can imagine. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people might overlook, but it holds secrets of value, history, and hidden fortune. We are talking about the 1993 Lincoln penny from the United States of America. At first glance, it might seem like just another 1-cent piece. But my friends, this small coin has a story worth telling, and it could be worth much more than just a cent. Part 2. The 1993 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest mints in American history. In 1993, billions of pennies were produced, yet not all of them are equal. Some carry unique details, minting errors, or qualities that turn a humble penny into a collector's prize. The D mint mark on this coin signifies its Denver origin, and collectors around the globe look carefully at every small detail of these coins to determine their rarity. Part 3. To truly understand the 1993 D penny, we must step back into its lineage. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head penny and became one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. By 1993, the Lincoln penny had already been a household coin for over 80 years, and it carried the famous Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been introduced in 1959. Part 4. What makes the 1993 D Lincoln penny fascinating is not just its design, but also its composition. In the early years, Lincoln cents were made of solid bronze. However, due to rising metal costs, the U.S. Mint switched in 1982 to a cheaper composition of zinc with a thin copper plating. By 1993, the penny was 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This means it is light, often prone to corrosion, and extremely difficult to preserve in mint condition. Coins that survive in pristine state are highly valuable. Part 5. The obverse of the coin proudly features the bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. Look closely at the reverse under magnification, and you can even spot a tiny image of the Lincoln statue inside the memorial, making it a coin within a coin. Such details capture the artistry of U.S. coinage and fascinate collectors to this day. Part 6. Now, let's talk about rarity and value. Most circulated 1993 D pennies are worth face value. But certain factors change everything. If the coin is in uncirculated condition, with its luster untouched, the value jumps. Mint state-graded coins, especially MS-65 and above, can fetch serious money. Collectors will pay high prices for coins with sharp details, no scratches, and strong strike quality. Part 7. One of the biggest drivers of value is errors and varieties. The 1993 D penny has been known to appear with off-center strikes, double dies, and other minting mistakes. A double die obverse can show doubling in the lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust. Even a slight doubling can multiply the value by hundreds or even thousands of times. Part 8. Imagine holding a coin that was meant to be just 1 cent, but due to an error, it suddenly becomes a collector's dream worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. That is the magic of coins like the 1993 D Lincoln cent. Collectors hunt for these treasures in rolls, jars, and old piggy banks, always hoping to find that rare variation. Part 9. Let's dive into actual market values. Circulated 1993 D pennies are common, but uncirculated ones can command anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars depending on grade. Certified examples graded MS-67 or higher can sell for astonishing sums at auctions. In fact, record prices have been known to reach as high as $222,675 for the finest, rarest specimens with unique features. That's the power of rarity meeting demand. Part 10. Think about it. A penny you might dismiss as pocket change could be worth more than a brand new car. That is why coin collecting, or numismatics, is not just a hobby but an adventure. The 1993 D Lincoln penny represents how history, scarcity, and condition collide to create real value. Part 11. Let us also remember that 1993 was a transitional time in America. The penny circulated widely in the everyday lives of millions. It passed through grocery stores, gas stations, and candy shops. Each coin carries invisible stories of the hands it has touched, from children saving pennies in jars to adults using them in daily commerce. To hold a 1993 D penny in pristine condition is to hold a preserved piece of that history. Part 12. When evaluating the worth of your 1993 D penny, pay close attention to details. Is the strike sharp? Does the coin still shine with original mint luster? Are there any visible errors like doubling, cracks, or off-center images? These small details can turn a 1-cent piece into a life-changing discovery. Part 13. Collectors today are more passionate than ever, and platforms like auctions and coin shows prove that the Lincoln penny continues to dominate the U.S. coin market. The 1993 D is not as widely celebrated as some earlier key dates, but its error coins and high-grade survivors make it one of the most sought-after modern Lincoln memorial cents. Part 14. So next time you come across a 1993 D Lincoln penny, don't ignore it. Examine it carefully, treasure it, and if it meets the right conditions, you may be holding a small fortune. Remember, condition is king, and rarity drives the market. And yes, some of these coins have truly been valued at $222,675, proof that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Part 15. Here at RF Coins, we believe that every coin has a story to tell, and the 1993 D Lincoln penny tells a story of history, art, mystery, and hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most fascinating cents, make sure to like, subscribe, and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. Share your own coin discoveries in the comments, because who knows, the next great treasure might be hiding in your pocket right now. This is RF Coins, uncovering value one coin at a time. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins of the United States, the Lincoln penny from the year 2020. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary cent that you find in your pocket change, but believe me, the 2020 Lincoln cent has a story to tell, a history to share, and in some cases, a market value that can reach astonishing numbers, as high as $222,675. Stay with me until the end, because every part of this coin's journey will surprise you. Part 2, the beginning of the Lincoln penny legacy. To understand the 2020 Lincoln cent, we must first look back to where it all started. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the very first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of an actual historical figure instead of Lady Liberty. This was a turning point in American coinage, and over a century later, the Lincoln cent continues to hold a special place in collectors' hearts. Part 3, what makes 2020 special? Now let's jump forward to 2020. The world was going through a turbulent time, but coin collectors found something special in that year's minting. The 2020 Lincoln penny is part of the Shield Reverse Design series, introduced in 2010, which features a strong shield symbolizing the preservation of the Union. The shield connects directly to the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln, who led the nation through its most divided era. Part 4, mints and varieties of 2020 pennies. The 2020 penny was struck at several U.S. mint facilities, including Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark for proof coins. Each minting location produced different quantities, but the real excitement comes from the variations, errors, and high-grade conditions that can make some of these cents worth a fortune. Part 5, circulating coins and everyday value. Millions of 2020 Lincoln pennies entered circulation, and most people see them as just 1 cent. But collectors know that value is not always in the face number. Instead, it lies in rarity, errors, demand, and condition. This is where the 2020 penny surprises even the most experienced coin enthusiasts. Part 6, error coins that skyrocket in value. Error coins from 2020 are some of the most searched for in the hobby. Double dies, off-center strikes, and misaligned dies can turn a simple penny into a treasure. Some of these error pennies have already sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auctions, with the rarest reaching jaw-dropping amounts close to that incredible number of $222,675. Part 7, condition is everything. Collectors know the phrase, condition is king. A 2020 penny in heavily circulated condition might only be worth a cent, but one preserved in pristine, uncirculated, or even proof condition can leap in value dramatically. Coins graded at MS67, MS68, or higher by professional grading services are the real stars of the market. Part 8, auction house surprises. Auction houses across the country have seen 2020 Lincoln cents cross the block at eye-catching prices. Some lucky finders pulled them straight from pocket change, sent them in for grading, and watched the value explode. The thrill of finding such a coin is what keeps collectors searching through every roll and jar of pennies. Part 9, the symbolism of the shield reverse. The shield design on the reverse of the 2020 penny carries deep meaning. It represents the strength and unity of the United States, echoing Lincoln's role in preserving the Union. Collectors appreciate not only the historical link but also the bold, clean design that sets it apart from earlier wheat and memorial reverses. Part 10, Why Modern Coins Can Be So Valuable. Some people wonder how a modern coin like the 2020 penny can reach such staggering values. The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. While billions may have been struck, only a tiny fraction exist in flawless condition or with rare errors. This rarity drives collectors into fierce competition, pushing values to incredible heights. Part 11, Stories from Collectors. There are countless stories of collectors and even everyday people who discover 2020 pennies worth much more than a cent. A coin pulled from pocket change, carefully examined, and sent to auction can sometimes change a person's entire perspective on coin collecting. Part 12, Investment Potential. The 2020 penny is not just a piece of history, it's also an investment. Smart collectors and investors are holding on to these high-grade and rare coins, knowing their values may continue to rise. Just imagine owning a penny today that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars tomorrow. Part 13, Tips for Collectors. If you want to search for valuable 2020 pennies, start by looking closely at every cent you find. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, misstrikes, or unusual features. Always check the condition carefully. And remember, grading your coins through a trusted service can dramatically increase their market appeal. Part 14, Current Market Value. Right now, in the coin market, a rare 2020 Lincoln penny in the highest grades or with rare errors can reach jaw-dropping prices. Reports show examples reaching into the tens of thousands and even over $200,000, with the highest noted figure of $222,675. This proves that even modern coins can be treasures hiding in plain sight. Part 15, Conclusion and Call to Action. So, the next time you find a penny from 2020 in your change, don't ignore it. That little cent could be worth far more than you imagine. The history of Abraham Lincoln, the symbolism of the shield, the mystery of errors, and the excitement of high market values all come together in this single coin. This is the magic of coin collecting, and here at RF Coins, we bring these stories to life for you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2020 Lincoln penny, hit the like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and share this video with fellow collectors. Who knows? The next treasure might already be in your pocket.